Ooh, hello everybody and welcome to Halloween 2012. Oh yes, and it's totally different to Halloween 2011, which was in crappy old Guild Wars 1. I just spent, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour just talking into this mic about everything that was in Halloween, but it was also basic. I don't like the idea of just teaching people how to suck lemons, so instead I'm going to go at this from a different angle. Halloween is here, yay. If you weren't aware, Halloween has come to Guild Wars 2. It's been out for about 2 days. Halloween's coming in acts. This is just Act 1. There will be an Act 2, 3, and an Act 4, and it's massive. They've done so much stuff that they've just added to the game, and pretty much I woke up yesterday after the update had gone out and just spent all day on it, all day. It kept me occupied for a very long time, so if you haven't been playing the game recently, this might be your key to getting back in. There's a lot of stuff that's been added. I thought I would show off how to be kind of complete with Act 1. I've done sort of everything you can do with Act 1 at this point, so I'll show off to you guys exactly what you can do in terms of the achievements, the quickest way to get the achievements, and well, the items I don't have all of. I mean, some of the items people are kind of comparing to legendaries. They're like Halloween legendaries. They cost a lot of money. I'm expecting the prices of those to come down though as Acts 2, 3 and 4 come out and some of the rarer materials become more readily available. But yeah, there's certainly quite a lot that you can do, and I've kind of put my head to the grindstone and done all of it that we can. Act 1 isn't everything for Halloween. This update also had plenty of other things which I'll talk about a little bit too. But yeah, so in terms of what's happened in Lion's Arch, there's a bunch of new decorations. It all looks very different. As you can see, in the loading screen here has changed a little bit. You'll notice there's a big meta event that pretty much all of Lion's Arch is under the influence of, and this includes this area here in the center where there's a bar. This bar is slowly charging up, you'll notice as we walk over. And right now it says Shadow of the Mad King there. Paranormal events are occurring throughout Kryta. Magister Tassi has been assigned to investigate this in Lion's Arch. This bar has slowly been creeping up over the past few days. I'm guessing that as soon as it maxes out, that's when Act 2 will begin, because we're about 2 days in and Act 2 is coming out in about 3 days, so that looks like that's about right to me. This statue in the middle is beginning to rock and shake, and it's got some glowing stuff happening around it. And also there is a quest chain you can complete from, as it tells you to come to here. Magister Tassi, this woman here with the pumpkin. This is to do with the history of Mad King Thorn. There's lots of interesting lore stuff. There's confirmation that horses exist. How amazing is that? So there's all that kind of stuff there going on. Mad King Thorn is a bastard. You do learn a lot of stuff about him. It's quite fun. For completing that, your reward will be this backslot item here, this tome, which again is quite nice actually. It's more suited to the spellcasting classes. I kind of prefer it to my backpack, but at the same time, my backpack, I mean, you can transmute it to give it really nice stats. When you first get it, it won't have great stats, but as you can actually read on the flavor text there, it says a recollection of the life and deeds of Mad King Thorn is recounted by his loyal subjects and friends. The volume ends with a coronation of King Thorn. It seems incomplete, so it certainly seems we might get other versions of that, maybe also backslot items that will actually be of higher stats. So you can transmute now if you want, or you can wait. Maybe we'll get different skins, things like that as we go forward. But yeah, so there are only a handful of things for the entirety of Halloween that we seem to be able to do right now. It certainly seems we're eventually going to be able to, and I think the entrance will be here, go to the Mad Realm where Mad King Thorn is actually staying most of the year, and there's in fact a lot of achievements to do with that. So if we go to our achievements, the update to the game's actually portioned out achievements into different areas. Explorer used to have all of the jumping puzzle achievements with it. Now it's got a whole load of new achievements here, which seem to be achievements associated with areas we could go to already, like Windy Cave. I know where a lot of these are because I've been there and I've wondered why didn't I get an achievement when I did it. They seem to now be added. So there's a whole bunch of new ones here that aren't jumping puzzles. They're just exploring, going to certain places. And there's a whole new section now called jumping puzzles. These were the existing ones we did, as you saw with me and Mike. These were all covered on that series, even the one that I don't have, except these last 4 here, which are new achievements. But again, some of these, for example, Hex Foundry Unhinged, break through the containment field. I've done that before and I've gone there but just not got an achievement, so we'll be doing series covering those, no doubt. There's also a new section, bosses, which I've already got one. These are the main bosses in the game that we'll be able to get. Not sure I'll do a video series on that, but I will get those eventually. This is all outside of Halloween, but now we've also got this special event section here too, which has specific Halloween achievements in it right now, and I'm guessing when Christmas comes around and we get Winter's Day, there'll be Winter's Day achievements that are added here too. And this is as much progress as you can make right now. As you can see, I've only got 4 progress in 4 of these, and there are 4 that I don't have progress progress in at all. The Mad King's clock tower, jump, jump, jump for your life, fall, fall, fall when you die. This seems to be, to me, it's probably going to be a place in the Mad Realm, which we can't explore in Act 1. That will be something added later. Attend the party. I hear the jokes are to die for. I'm guessing that when the finale begins, it will be like in Guild Wars 1, and every 3 hours or so, we'll have some kind of ending party. And there's going to be an achievement for attending a specific amount of those. So at least just one. You can see there's only one tier here, and to get progress, you need just one to attend one. So this will be kind of attend the party at the very end, I suppose, or something else. Then we've got It's a Mad King's World, explore the Mad Realm or die trying. As we can't get into the Mad Realm right now, we can't do it. And Halloween event completed. This has actually got 5 tiers. For the first tier, you just need one event. Well, what it means by Halloween event completed, I'm not sure. There are specific Halloween events that can spawn around in the world through doors, trick-or-treat doors that are spawning out there at the moment that you can knock on. Sometimes they'll trigger events, but I've done many of those, and this has never given me any progress. So it could mean Halloween event. Quite literally, we are in the midst of a Halloween event right now, and you're going to only get one this year, and then next year you'll get the second, all the way up to 5 years, which could take years upon years to finish, unless there's something else. Maybe the title track is bugged at the moment, but ArenaNet have released an update that's affected these titles quite recently, actually. In fact, this one here, Trick or Treat bags, this used to end at 40, but it was updated last night to go all the way up to 100. So if you only played yesterday, you'll have to come back in if you actually want to finish this. It was bugged before. But these other ones, as I say, we can make progress on. This one here, Emissary of the Mad King. You've made the Mad King proud. He'll kill you last. This actually is a title for getting all of the other achievements. As you can see, the title here will be Emissary of the Mad King. I've completed 2. I've actually completed 3 here, but one of these doesn't seem to be counting. I'm not sure which. Last night I only said I'd completed 1. It could be that something else is bugged out. I don't know. But it certainly seems like you'll need 5 of these to finish the track, which does mean that I can make my time up with at least 3 of these other 4 titles that aren't available right now. Also, we've got a new update in the community section here, Costume Brawl. This is the long one. This title here I do not recommend going for it. It took me 6 to 7 hours. It's the reason why there wasn't a daily yesterday, because I thought, oh, I can do this. Oh, no, there's another tier. Oh, no, there's another tier. Oh, no, there's another tier. 500 wins in the Costume Brawl. Costume Brawl is pretty fun. It's very casual PvP. You can essentially equip any kind of costume or tonic you like, and you actually get skills, and you can go off and fight against other people. But it will be mind-numbing if you try and do it all in one sitting. I was using this costume here, the Witch's costume, which I think is probably one of the best ones to do it for, because you get a great AoE ability. But it will take a long time. I definitely don't recommend it, and Costume Brawl has been confirmed to stay in the game even after the Halloween event is over, so don't worry about that, and that's probably why it's in the community section rather than in the special event section. You'll also notice you don't get a title for finishing this achievement, and you only get 15 points for finishing the achievement. So seriously, just casually do it your time while playing Guild Wars 2. This is a very long-term goal. Don't grind your way through it. If you have, then congratulations, you're like me, you've wasted a lot of time. But yeah, that's a long one. 12 tiers of the damn thing. 500 Brawl champions is... It might not feel like that much when you get in, and you might do really well suddenly, and oh, look, I've already got 3 in just a couple of minutes, but 500, it will wear you down. Like I say, 6 to 7 hours it took me. You might get it quicker if you've already got a bit of experience, but... if you've already got a bit of experience, then that's going to count into the 6-7 hours. So yeah, we're going to focus a little bit on the special events here. As I said, this is all the progress you can make. Pumpkin carving, this one in particular is probably my favourite one to do, and the one, other than the community, I'm saying don't do Costume Brawl, but definitely do the pumpkin carving. This one's actually really kind of fun, lasts just long enough. You need to carve 150 pumpkins. So one of the changes in the game right now is there have been these things added around Tyria. Not all of Tyria, just Lion's Arch, a few of the Crichton areas, most of Crichton in fact, except the Harathi hinterlands, and so I hear the starting areas too, but I can't confirm that they're actually in the starting areas. I wasn't aware that they were. They're basically in some of the new places that have been affected by Halloween the most. For example, those areas I just listed also having the trick-or-treat doors spawning in them, and these things you can run up to and carve to get the achievement. Literally, it's like, imagine that the whole world's become like a giant renown quest, and you need to interact with 150 things to actually finish it, and the reward instead is actually a title. There's this guy you might speak to here who will teach you about the achievement, funnily enough, which you don't often get with many achievements in the game. He says, do you think what it takes to be called a Master Pumpkin Carver? Yes, I do. I can't believe it. You've beaten my record. You truly are a Master Pumpkin Carver. Happy Halloween. What do I get? You've been acknowledged by my order and will henceforth be known as Master Carver. Bear the title with pride. Your order? It's a secret order of secret crafters who carve pumpkins. That's all you need need to know? Right, so yeah, there's this guy here, and he will teach you about the achievement, but nothing really happens when you get it. Though, this achievement does give you a title. Unlike the costume brawl, it does give you a title, so I can actually wear that's what I'm wearing right now, the Master Carver title. And it's just a generally quite a fun one to do. I think that ArenaNet have actually hand-placed 150 pumpkins around the world to carve, so you could, in theory, go and just craft each and every individual one, like finding flags in Assassin's Creed or something like that. But the pumpkins will, after a fair few hours, respawn for you on the same character. So you can run through, say, Lion's Arch, searching for as many pumpkins as you can find, come back the next day, and then just carve them all again. Or you can swap to an alternate character, and indeed that's what I did. I found all of the pumpkins that I knew about in Lion's Arch, which is about 35 to 36 of them. And then I found not too many in Queensdale. There's about maybe 10 to 15 I knew about, and also some in... what was the other area? I believe it was Gendaran Fields I was doing it in as well. And then I do it on one character, swap over, and I had to do it on 3 different characters before I finally finished the title, which was 150. You'll find a link in the description to a Reddit thread, actually, that I was using because some people have been compiling locations of pumpkins. Not all of the pumpkins are listed on there. I know about a lot in Lion's Arch that aren't even detailed on that map. Like, for example, how close are we? Yeah, just over here. If we get off of... By the way, the witch's costume is amazing. Look, you can fly around on a broom, and you can even get on the broom, and then you can get out of your costume clothes, and you'll just be in your regular clothes flying around on a broom, if I actually do that properly. You will be, or I was yesterday. They might have changed that. Yeah, there you go. See, so now I'm in my normal clothes flying around. It's amazing. It's so good. But yeah, there's a lot of pumpkins and stuff that aren't detailed on those maps, but they are generally quite good for it. I know if you decide to do the Sharkmoor Caverns jumping puzzle, there are apparently 2 pumpkins in there as well. So just keep your eye out. It's quite fun. You can feel no rush to go through that too quickly, though. You can just do that throughout the event. But I would recommend doing it before the event is over, of course, because once the event is over, you will no longer have access to the special event achievements, and that in particular means you won't get the Master Carver achievement because you would have left it for too late. So I definitely recommend doing that. Trick or treat bags, as you participate through Act 1, 2, 3, and 4, you'll find plenty of these. 100 is a fair amount. They're selling for about silver each on the trading post right now, so you can look at that as spending a gold for an achievement if you will, but once you've got it, then all of the rest you can feel free to open for yourself to get rare mats or just sell. This is pretty easy, especially if you do it in combination with Halloween hunting, which requires you to kill new Halloween enemies. So what's happening right now is around the world, for Act 1 they've kind of just primed the world ready for Halloween. They've decorated everything and put in some general stuff you can do. They've put in the costume brawl, which is an activity you can all play and do whatever in your leisure. And also around these Crichton areas, not only do you have the pumpkins you can all go for and look to, but you have doors, trick-or-treat doors, magical weird doors from another dimension that are kind of just spawning around the world, and they'll despawn very quickly, so if you see one, run it, get to it as quickly as you possibly can, and you can open these for either a trick or a treat. If you get the treat, then that's actually going to be a trick-or-treat bag, which you can double-click for festive items, or if you get tricked, it will spawn new enemies at you, including, drumroll, gargoyles. There are actually gargoyles. This whole question of where the gargoyles had gone, well, they're spawning through these doors from the Mad Realm, which is kind of interesting. But there's a lot of new enemies there. Skeletons. Skeletons weren't actually in Guild Wars 2, if you think about it, and now they are. There's a lot of weird Halloween kind of enemies. Sometimes the doors will just spawn a single one. More rarely, an entire event will spawn, which will require you to defeat a really dangerous one, or even a horde of them, which is fantastic for your title. The Halloween hunting title is just killing these enemies. Kill 150 of the enemies, you'll be fine. They have a very high chance of dropping trick-or-treat bags, so while you're going for this, you're also going for this at the same time. Very handy. Now, there is one other title too that you can max out at the same time as these, and that's your monthly. Remember this here was one time a question mark. This is now actually candy corn consumption, which isn't what I thought it was going to be. Candy corn is kind of like, for the first game it was like the currency of Halloween, if you will, and it seems to have taken that role again in the second game. You will have a serious excess of this stuff. I've got a stack and 98 here, and I've not really even been trying to get it. And you're going to be tempted to sell it. If I right click this and go sell at the trading post, you'll see that I can get 31 silver from this if I want. I'm telling you though, hold off, don't sell it yet, because we do have Act 2, 3 and 4 to come, which might add a whole lot of new stuff we can spend this candy corn on to get new items. So I would suggest you hold on to any candy corn you have at the moment, but do eat 150 of the stuff. You can eat it for a very minor speed boost, 10%, that turns off when you get into combat, and it will stack duration. If you eat too many, actually you start throwing up, so it might be quite funny. What I did was I saved up 150 and then just spammed them all at once, and my character was just throwing up profusely on the floor the entire time. But do that to get your monthly. And you might be wondering, well, it's just monthly. Monthly has changed. Outside of Halloween updates, as I said, there's been a lot of other stuff added to the game right now. One thing in particular, if you have a look at your mail, you can see if you've beaten Zaitan, you'll have this mail here, this Pact Victory token. You can use this to get unique weapons at the end of the game over at Fort Trinity. Very, very nice weapons as well. There was a bug where this wasn't working, but at the time of filming this video, it's now working. You can go in. The Greatsword in particular looks amazing. So does the short bow. They look really, really good. So you can get that. That's one of the new updates too. But one of the best ones that they've done is you now get karma for completing dailies and monthlies. You get something called a jug of karma, jug of liquid karma. That can be traded to other characters too, so you can put that karma on whoever you want regardless of who completed the daily. And these give you quite a lot. I think it's about 4.5 thousand karma each, and you get 10 of them for completing monthly. So if you're ready to complete monthly when Halloween begins here, you'll actually end up getting 45,000 karma. This can further be boosted through karma boosters as well. So you can go right up to 60, 70,000 karma just from completing your monthly, which is an awful lot. It's really good, especially if you want some of the god armors or you're going for legendaries, which take about 1 million karma. This actually isn't too bad. So yeah, I mean, I would very much recommend you go for monthly this month. You'll get your jugs of karma. And in particular, if you've done the daily on the same day as well, that'll be 11 jugs just to chug down straight away. So that's good. That's pretty much everything for the achievements though, and what you can get so far. If you choose to go to the Black Lion Trading Company, you can actually buy, there's some interesting stuff you can do. You can buy this spooky trio, these 3 mini pets here. You can actually put those with a stack of candy corn in the Mystic Forge, and you'll get a new mini out. It's a skeleton that's dual wielding chainsaws. Actually doesn't look as good in my opinion as one of the minis you get anyway, which is the mini spooky ghost, which you have to spend to get the chainsaw guy. But it's up to you if you want to do that and get the super awesome mini. He's a gold mini. It's an interesting one because it means if you want all of the minis, you have to buy them twice. And for me, in particular, I would see that like empty slot on the on my collectors tab in my bank and be forever haunted by it. So puns intended. So I decided to go for it. But yeah, I don't really like the amazing mini you can get. But Black Lion as well. Another big thing that's going on is Black Lion chests. If you get these, they have a very rare chance of dropping some incredibly nice looking skins. Really nice, like that chainsaw I just talked about. You can actually get as a greatsword. But the thing is, and you can even get armor too. But the thing is, they are on a very, very low chance to actually be dropped from the chest. And there's so many people bitching about that I totally don't agree with me. It just sounds like entitlement. You understand that it's a gamble. It's going to be a low chance. These are supposed to be rare items. If you buy 10 keys and expect to get a super rare item just because you spent money on it, then you're going to be in for a bad time. Don't be entitled. Yes, the items are there, but there are plenty of other items outside of Halloween that you can get to. So if you ask me, if you're not prepared to lose, don't do it. It's playing a lottery. You know that. You're an adult. Make the decision for yourself. I did spend 20 keys trying to get myself something. I did get one Halloween item. I got some like shoulders. Do I have them in my inventory at the moment? I might be able to show you. No, I think they're in my bank at the moment, but I did get some shoulders that were worth about 50 silver. If you do get something quite cool, maybe hold on to it, because these are only dropping from Black Lion chests during the event, and of course once the event's over then the price is going to raise quite a lot. So there's that. If you don't fancy getting unique skins just from the Black Lion chests, then there is another option for you. There are these skins here too, which look amazing. They're very, very cool from these new vendors. You can buy temporary versions of them that only last 4 hours for 150 candy corn. Isn't that much, honestly, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. This one's my favorite, Arachnophobia. It's a short bow that looks just like a spider. It's really cool. These, you can get permanent versions of these, but these are what I was talking about that were really difficult to get. People are like saying, oh, these are like legendary skins, blah, 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 for Halloween. I think in the later acts, the rare materials you need to craft these for yourself will become more available, and it will be easier to get permanent versions of them for yourself. But yeah, these are very cool items. There are loads of new recipes. You can do all kinds of stuff with crafting. There are recipes that you can buy, and then there is stuff that you can just discover on your own. I think there's something for every single discipline in the game. A lot of it's a kind of crappy stuff, but there is some interesting things too. Like there's a Rune of the Mad King, which will summon ravens on someone when you use an elite skill at them, which is quite nice. So there's some kind of quirky, interesting things going on there. And just in general, a lot of cool items, a lot of things to do, and it's very reminiscent of the first game as well at the same time, which I quite like. Really well decorated, and this is only Act 1. I'll be back explaining to you guys more about Act 2 and so forth, but yeah, that's pretty much all you can do right now in terms of achievements. I've done it. It took me, honestly, I was playing solidly all day yesterday. It's the reason really why there wasn't a daily. And yeah, so just bear that in mind. These other new achievements that have all been added, all these other changes that have been going into the game, I'll be covering as well, so look out for those. Hey, with me and Mike, at least we've got some other stuff to do, more jumping puzzles, and even we'll probably do these Explorer achievements as well if I can rope him into doing that. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you for Act 2 and daily and all that stuff. So thanks again, and yeah, have a good one. one. Hopefully you found a reason to get back in game.